Welcome to The Middlemen, the show that takes a deep dive into the pressing issues shaping our nation. Join us as we navigate the middle ground where diverse interests and perspectives converge. I'm joined by two jurors who will be dissecting and debating every case presented today. Juror Emeka Madunagu will be presenting a case titled CNG Subsidy and Commuters Agony that unveils the injustice meted on the masses following the removal of fuel subsidy. Juror Innocent Adulugba will present his case titled Much Ado About Legal Profession Facing Ethical Challenges, where the Chief Justice of Nigeria is calling out the fallout in legal ethics. And I, JUROR JUMOKE Alaude James, will be asking a question that demands the exposure of the barbaric and uncivilized nature of certain senators in a case titled Nigeria's Senate of Sinators. All of these conversations will be held when we come back from this short break. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. And you're welcome back. My case, Nigeria's Senate of Senators. Deputy Chief Whip of the Nigerian Senate, that is, the senator representing Agony North Central Senatorial District under the platform of the All Progressives Congress APC, Onyekachi Nwamboyi, called Dr. Obi Ezekwesili unprintable names on Tuesday, 25th of March 2025 at the Senate committee hearing to determine the authenticity of the sexual harassment claims of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan of Kogi Central of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) against Senate President Godswill Akpabio of Akwa Ibom Northwest Senatorial District, also of the APC. Elected to the Senate for the first time in 2023, Senator Nwamboyi is excused for using foul language against Dr. Ezekwesili, who had come to the Senate hearing in support of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, was that he was higher than her because he's a senator. He was attending the Senate hearing in support of the Senate President and felt insulted when Dr. Ezekwesili asked him to shut up when he was talking. The gbas that followed was unnecessary. He was uncouth. The people who support him said Dr. Ezekwesili provoked him. Asked on TV if he regretted his outburst, he said even though Dr. Ezekwesili is his sister, old enough to be his mother, she ought to have allowed the committee chair to chastise him and not told him to shut up. He's 42. Dr. Ezekwesili is 70. If you do a small research, he's not known for much, though he claims he worked on the World Bank funded project. Research Dr. Ezekwesili on the other hand, and the list of world-class organizations and companies she's worked with or founded will impress you, starting from being World Bank's vice president and founder of Amnesty International. Yet, this senator believes she's beneath him. The sexual harassment petition by Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan is really exposing our senators. First, there are now more people asking for the Senate President to step aside and not be a judge in his own case, as Senator Natasha has now submitted evidence to back her claims to the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privileges and Public Petitions. Next is an ongoing recall process of Senator Natasha in the Kogi Central Senatorial District. The voters had come out to complain that they had been deceived to think the recall was an empowerment scheme where they had been asked to sign. Then videos surfaced of signatures being forged. Then the main petitioner is a woman close to former Kogi State Governor Yaya Bello. We don't need you to guess much to know what's happening. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, had on Tuesday, 25th of March 2025, thrown out the petition because the collated signatures lacked addresses of voters and did not meet INEC's requirement. But the next day, Wednesday, 26th of March, INEC informed Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan that the recalling voters' names now had addresses. Another angle to this unfortunate story is the believability of sexual harassment allegations against Senator Akpabio. Recall that there was a similar allegation against him when he was Niger Delta Development Commission NDDC chairman in 2020 by the then NDDC MD Joy Nunue. If you search for news about Akwa Ibom, though they get the most federal allocation due to the presence of crude oil, Wikipedia will tell you that Akwa Ibom has the 17th highest human development index in Nigeria, in large part due to years of systemic corruption. Senator Akpabio was governor of Akwa Ibom from 2007 to 2015. He retired to the Senate in 2015 when he was accused of fraud to the tune of 108.1 billion naira of Akwa Ibom state funds by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Formerly of the PDP, his EFCC file was swept under the carpet when he joined the APC. When he was also chair of the NDDC, corruption allegations against the commission also got swept under the carpet when he accused the senators probing him of being direct beneficiaries of contracts from the commission. The senators then advised themselves to off the mic. End of. Here is my verdict. Nigeria's political elites defend themselves. Remember Senator Elisha Abo, the sex toy senator? Nothing happened to him after he assaulted a sex toy attendant, a lady. The Nigerian peoples need to start to defend themselves. We focus too much on who becomes president. We need to start an advocacy to properly screen candidates going into the Senate. Since they believe they are above the regular citizen, we ought to ensure only distinguished Nigerians get into the Senate, and it isn't turned into a retirement home for corrupt former governors and uncouth politicians.
Thank you. That's the news making the round. If you permit me, if that grammar is correct, it's from the government, new day, new news, if that's allowed. Yeah, we've come from Obatamo Dashiru versus Lagos Assembly to Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan and Akpabio, to the core member Oshe Rita, and back to this cycle. Senator Ebonyi means child of Ebonyi or son of Ebonyi. Nwa Ebonyi. And it's representing Ebonyi North. I wonder if the Ebonyis are proud of this, their child, with this
behavior.
Yes. And looking at the word distinguished, beyond the Nigerian elements of political abracadabra, I wonder if this is the most presentable human being for that position from Ebonyi North constituency, if you ask me. And from what you have done, there is a synopsis of the profile of Dr. Obi Ezekwesili,
who
I would be happy to meet.
I will be happy to be like her
and
achieve her goals,
and then have a photo in my house that this was when I met Dr. Ezekwesili.
Yes.
My most freshest memory of her is when the Bring Back Our Girls protest had petered out. She alone took placard, and walked in a single protest when the army threatened the bush, and alone, unarmed, over 50 security people were following her. And I'm like, man, this woman is an Amazon. So another thing is, in our time, she volunteered under oath to be a witness to this case. I think she is an unwelcome person in that sitting, because were it to be the Senate cronies, they will know how to meet, what to do, what results to package out.
Do you want us to protect you? I'm quoting somebody, a senator.
So now that she's there, and if she's at all the sittings, I think there may not be this loud bedlam, but the what's his name? Senator Imaswe is in for a big one.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, interestingly, some people have said it's Nwa boy, some said it's Nwa boy, you know. It depends on, how you how you put it, because he has no known political pedigree, you know, and so in anywhere, even in a boy state or anywhere, he has no known political pedigree. So I in a sense, I blame Dr. Obi Ezekwesili. You see, there's something people should understand about Nigeria. Things have degenerated in Nigeria so badly. Poverty messed up with the senses of so many Nigerians, high and low. that, you know what, the way people think these days, you pity many of them. So instead of her exchanging words with such a person, there is a way she could, instead of telling him shut up, she could just have given him the side eye, and just, there's a way, I'm trying to remember some Nigerians who are very good at that. There's a way that side eye that will show you that will really push that shut up so well that, you will know that, listen, who is this? Who is this talking? So, I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? He has gone online trying to maybe apologize and all of that.
No, he's not apologetic at all, though. He's not apologetic at all.
You can still see that. No, you can still see that Nwa boy tendency now. What do you expect?
Can you tell us what Nwa boy means in English? Nwa boy.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Anybody, you can get your interpretation, So the point is that, what do you expect? Is it Bayo Ononuga? Bayo Ononuga, who will tell you he has been the MD of a newspaper. When he writes, you feel like throwing up. You feel so embarrassed, as a member of the media profession.
Okay.
Look at them, name it. So the best thing is, anybody who is, who has built a pedigree, a respectable pedigree, don't get into the gutter with all these kinds of
absolutely agree with you.
It doesn't matter who they are. Don't look. The fact that somebody is a senator or rep, and so what? Wadanas was a tailor at Obalende, and he became a minister. He became a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He was a tailor at Obalende. There's a senator who said he was
Oshiomhole was a tailor. Eventually,
was a tailor now.
He eventually became NLC president, governor.
Yeah.
And then
senator. But even Oshiomhole is refined.
No,
come on.
Oshiomhole that told a widow, go and die.
You have not heard him speak. You have not heard him in his element.
I beg. Let's not change the meaning of refined.
There's a senator who said he was an Agbero before. So what do you expect from such people? There's a
Labour Party senator also who was a bike rider, and Labour Party threw up the opportunity for everybody.
A rep.
Yes, he got into the House of Representatives. He has decamped now, What has
so what do you expect from an Okada rider?
APC.
That's what somebody was saying. That you Labour Party guys, you are so happy to elect an Okada rider to the rep. You think you don't have guardrails against. So, you have to look at the character of people. Not just, you now,
which is
because
my advocacy
you want to accommodate everybody.
So, jurors, I'm advocating that we ensure that the citizens who go to the Senate are distinguished citizens. People who not just because they have a political platform and the collected form, we're not looking at them at all. We're just stamping on political parties because we're more focused on the presidential elections that happen on the same day as senatorial elections. So we as citizens need to focus more on that. But to play the devil's advocate, I'm somebody who believes that respect is earned. It's not just because you're older than I am. And I purposely put their age. He's 42. Dr. Ezekwesili is 70. He mentioned in an interview that she's old enough to be his mother. Aren't we going to talk about she saying shut up, right? In that our society is patriarchal, regardless of your age. The way he started saying, I said unprintable words, and I was going to start to repeat those words. One is not supposed to repeat those kind of foul, words. But the things he was saying, that she's a disgrace to womanhood because she said to him to shut up, was she wrong? Yes, Juror Emeka has said she shouldn't have said shut up. She could have used her bombastic side eye, to communicate that shut up. But shouldn't we also say an elder should also respect themselves. If she hadn't said shut up to him, he would not have been that provoked.
Is that what caused the whole thing?
That's what.
That's another way. That's another way to look at it. And then the other thing is this. I've been saying this on X. Why is it that whenever, and permit me to say this, anytime other regions in Nigeria, are having a dispute, there is always a willing Igbo man, to jump into the fray without thinking.
Ewo.
The way this one boy are jumping into this matter, attacking Natasha, at the end of the day, he's going to be dumped.
Well,
just use him.
His problem is that his problem is that Natasha is not the most beautiful woman in Nigeria, even though she's chocolate color. I'm quoting him.
Is it a beauty contest?
I'm quoting him.
He is not the one. He's not the one. He's not. He doesn't have a direct problem. If you look at it, and that's true. If you look at it, he doesn't have a direct problem with Natasha.
He's being.
It's not his problem. Juror Emeka.
But he's the one.
Juror Emeka.
He's the one who has been talking the most.
Okay, so Juror Emeka, are you insinuating that he's carrying out a proxy war?
Yes, now, obviously.
A stupid one. A stupid proxy war. Yes, which you find my Igbo guys always willing to do. Again and again and again. Again and again and again.
This
you always
is
find them.
unfortunate.
Look at during the 2023 election. Everybody, Soludo, Emeka Heda, the same fellow that P2P went to his birthday the other day. Name them. They were all so eager to attack P2P. Why?
Very true.
At the end of the day, all that Soludo was expecting from the federal government, he didn't get it. He thought, okay, by attacking P2P, they will bring a light rail, they will bring this, they will bring that. He hasn't got anything now.
All of them have turned P2P
and then,
to
name the others. Umahi was jumping up and down. At the end of the day, they just end up being used and dumped. What I'm trying to say is that we, I'm just using this as by the side that I think we should learn to play our politics with sense.
Cleanly.
You've not seen any Southwest senator or Northern senator jumping on this
up and down.
Matter.
True.
You will not see even South. Akpabio is from South.
So is it only the South and Igbos senators that are senators?
No, what I'm even saying is that you won't even see a South senator talking on this matter.
Okay, so this is
you will always see somebody, one senseless fellow coming out from the South.
Makes himself a pawn in their game.
Makes himself a sacrificial lamb.
Anyway,
don't be too angry, sir. Don't be too angry. Your own integrity is intact.
This matter.
No, it's not about. No, for me, I don't bother about such people. But it is becoming let Akpabio and Natasha fight their battles. These people are good friends. Okay. I know the funny thing. The tables will turn. They will become friends again. Let me tell you, the tables will turn.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, this boy that has been jumping up and down, what exactly is his own?
It will
you find out, okay, now Lagos State, they have said they are going to list their SCDAs as local governments. I have not seen anything coming to the Southeast. The National Assembly increased the 2025 budget, I think by about 190 billion. No landmark. What you saw inside was real projects for Lagos, Ogun, Kaduna, Kano, none to the Southeast.
Okay, Juror Emeka.
Different projects here and there, none to the Southeast. And instead of this guy to pursue issues that have to do with the advancement of the Southeast, he's there talking, diving into, man and woman issues.
Juror Emeka, this matter is unfolding. This matter is unfolding.
Sorry?
I said this matter is unfolding. It won't end today.
Yes.
You can join the conversation by dropping your comments in our comment section or sending us an email. We will go on a quick break, and when we return, Juror Emeka Madinagu, who is very itchy, will be here to present his case titled CNG Subsidy and Commuters Agony. Please do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Middlemen.
to the middlemen of jurors. My case, CNG subsidy and commuters agony. Within months of his inauguration on May 29, 2023 as Nigeria's 16th president, Bola Tinubu moved to assuage anger over his ill-thought removal of fuel subsidies by unveiling a compressed natural gas CNG initiative for vehicles. Within a few months, owners of many trucks, commercial and private vehicles had signed up to the offer of cheaper fuel. This was meant to reduce the cost of intra- and intercity commuting. Tinubu even rolled out a CNG mass transit plan for states to key into. So far, Oyo State has rolled out brand new buses for the scheme. However, intra-city commercial bus drivers are taking advantage of the CNG initiative to continually cheat commuters. Some days ago, I boarded a commuter bus from Ojota to Mowe in Ogun State. I was sitting beside the driver. On the way, the driver branched up to a CNG station on Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. The passengers had to disembark at the entrance to the fueling station, as is the rule, while the driver moved to the pumps. As he drove out some minutes later, I asked him how much he paid for the gas supply. He said he bought 1,600 CNG at 230 naira per kilogram. What? Petrol sells at over 800 naira per liter. I asked him why his conductor had charged us the same high fares as buses using petrol, and he retorted, "What about the cost of spare parts for the bus? Won't I pay for maintenance?" Oh, so in typical Nigerian fashion, a scheme that was meant to provide succor to commuters had become another extortion opportunity for commercial drivers. Nigeria will hail thee. My verdict: we live in a country where its citizens never lose any opportunity to cheat their compatriots. We complain of bad leaders, but we continue to confirm by the dishonest conduct of Nigerians in general that we are all sewn from the same badge, fraudulent fabric. The Nigerian Customs Service had confirmed the commencement of zero tariff on the import of medications. Excuse me. What have Nigerians find convenient excuses not to bring down the prices of medications? Indeed, now we they do ourselves. Government must take action against these dishonest commercial drivers. It can't be financing a scheme with taxpayers' funds and the citizens cannot enjoy any relief. I so rule.
Okay, I want to agree with you that we are the ones doing ourselves, Juror Emeka. Absolutely. The leaders that we complain about, I always say they didn't fall down from the skies. They are not Ghanaians, not Togolese. They are Nigerians. So it's the quality of followers that will eventually present the quality of leaders that we get, which is why the popular saying goes, every nation deserves the leaders it gets, right? Nigeria deserves the leaders that we get because we, the people, ourselves were not exactly straightforward. The population of Nigerians with good conscience is very small.
I'm one of them.
But he does have an angle to his defense, which is he's going to go to the same markets. I mean, we're all complaining of the economy. There's a 30 days rant challenge going on all over social media right now, where all of us are complaining about Nigeria's economy. So if he's able to use CNG to save an extra buck, I do not blame him. He's going to go to the same spare parts market like everyone else, you know, so that he's saving just a little bit above those drivers who are using petrol or diesel. I really do not blame him if I had the chance to save money also, you know. But I also get your advocacy, you know. But that's asking a businessman to be charitable. Most of us are in business to make profits. So if he finds a way to increase his profits, then that's good for him. What the government ought to have done with this scheme, because they did it as a palliative for those of us who were complaining of the high cost of petroleum, right, is to provide more government CNG buses. So you have an option. Either you go and take the government CNG bus that is cheaper because it is funded by the government, the scheme is funded by the government, or you wait for a few private downfall drivers who have also jumped on the scheme to earn a little extra profit for themselves. Then the citizens will have a choice, you know. But to expect that somebody, a businessman who is in business for profit, and maybe I'm talking to myself, because I would love to believe that I'm not into profiteering, right? But there are some things that I've done in recent times in terms of business where I'm really not thinking about my customer spending less. I'm thinking if I get the product cheaper and I can charge you my regular price and get higher profits, it helps me to survive Nigeria's economy. Those are my thoughts.
Anyway, I think Emeka is coming from the premise. If you look at Punch, 27th February this 2025, Minister of State for Transportation Ekpe has screamed loudly that the CNG will reduce transportation costs in Nigeria. So the mentality is we are leaving this mode for the other to spend less.
I get you.
You understand?
I do.
But if what JUROR EMEKA tells us, it means the final nail to the coffin of public corporation may have been nailed in Nigeria.
It will.
Yes, because public corporation exists side by side private businesses at lower margins to woo the masses and then let them feel there's a breather in the expenses they expend from their regular income. The CNG should be seen as one of that, being a government initiative. It's a similitude of ferry transportation here to in Lagos. You are in Ikorodu, you can see Aja. Now the cost is costlier than road transportation.
Why?
But shorter. Can you see that? Less time. Now, if you choose the ferry,
isn't it more dangerous?
It's a personal thing if you have your phobia.
Ah.
Yes. So if you have hydrophobia, now if you pay more, you get where you are going on time. People would like to get there on time. Those without your phobia written on your face. Now, those who want to pay more don't have, so they are resigned to road. So whenever there is a government initiative, the margins of consideration will fall back to government getting profit on economy of scale.
I get what you mean.
But where Emeka left petrol or diesel and went to CNG only to even suffer more, I don't know if he will
try CNG again
or preach it to another person. Or would you do that, JUROR EMEKA?
No, yeah, you see, that's what I'm saying. You see, I believe that, you see, government has the biggest opportunity,
yeah,
you know, to actually provide jobs, to provide solutions to poverty in Nigeria. Sincerely speaking, if the Nigerian government wants to, you know, bring down poverty, you know, it can do it by just 1, 2, 3 policies. For instance, like this CNG of a thing, you know, roll out buses. There are a lot of unemployed youths. Roll out buses. You go to Unilag now, you find electric buses being used in Unilag. And gradually, those old men still driving their vehicles. I just hope they can you know, read the handwriting on the wall. That gradually they are going to be phased out. You know, gradually when more of those electric buses come into Unilag,
they're going to be phased out. They're going to be phased out because the electric buses cost less. It's 100 naira from gate into campus. Yeah. Now, because of higher petrol prices, the regular buses and cabs are higher. They're twice the price.
Yes.
You know? And so this is safer. The electric buses, they're fully air conditioned because they are carrying their solar lamps on their head
and under the sun,
under the very hot sun,
and it's not which is good for the charging of the solar batteries.
Yeah.
And so that, which is what I had said, that universities in Nigeria should actually be innovation centers.
True.
We should stop calling them universities, you know, because the term university has become outdated. You know, that's why you see like a place, Harvard. You don't hear them call the Harvard University. Harvard is now an institution. UNILAG should not be, University of, it should just be UNILAG. UIOAU. Why? Because they should embody certain values that, government should be pushing out to Nigerians, like innovation. Like a place like UNILAG, the roads in UNILAG should actually be, should actually have, little panels, or, the walkways, should have little panels that gather energy to power the street lights in UNILAG. So the university should engage more. They should look for partners around the world to, power innovation, innovative ventures. So back to this CNG of a thing. I just wonder, look at Oyo State is the only state basically that has keyed into this, CNG initiative.
We are afraid of gas explosions, so JUROR EMEKA, I beg.
Which one is safer? Which one is CNG is light. CNG is not. Is light. It's lighter than LPG.
It's more flammable.
The cooking gas we have in our homes. So what we're talking about is that.
No, but it will not be so flamed outside, like in a closed space.
No, and such vehicles you will not give it to. You will not give it to just anybody
it's the way you
drive.
Some of your gas cylinders outside your house. Whatever happened.
Okay, then why don't we try electric buses? Why don't we try electric buses then? Running from here to from Lagos to Ibadan. If we're afraid of CNG, what I'm just talking about is that we are shooting ourselves in the foot when government puts out money to support a scheme, and at the end of the day, people are still not getting any relief from it. Government should rethink before you put money into a scheme. Think about it. How is this money going to come back? Or are we just going to be doing a bazaar for a few Nigerians?
Are they working for us? Is Nigerian government working for you?
Even the same for electric bikes. And funny enough, these alternative energy saving machines now cost higher.
Yes. No.
So it's now scaring people from abandoning what they can afford for the costlier ones.
They cost higher at initial purchase because maintenance is cheaper in the long run. So it's like buying inverter AC as opposed to your regular AC that chops more electricity. Inverter AC will cost almost twice your regular AC, but would ensure that you are not buying a lot of electricity because it doesn't consume as much power.
Anyway, a quick one. My point is this: sometimes in the UK, say like 5-6 years back, the government gives citizens incentive for going solar and staying off the grid and reducing the load. So if we are chasing renewable energy or sustainability, the government, if in each state can get maybe 3,000 electric bikes, which for a state, that's almost a sprinkle, and maybe put it out for higher purchase at very subsidized amount because you are the government. And so it's an incentive for you to abandon the fuel and the exhaust and the fume, whatever, for that.
Oga, the cost of electricity is enough incentive for us to go solar.
No, but there's a young guy in Anambra State, Bilot, who has rolled out electric cabs from China. 300 electric cars from China, and he said it will be running between the state capital, Loka, and his hometown, Ebenebe. And he's recruiting young men to be riding them.
Nice.
The standard fare is around 1,000 naira, but what is charging is 300 naira. So
fantastic
when we have such innovative, innovative,
that government is you and I. Government is you and I. Number one, the elective politicians that we elect into position, you and I as government ought to hold them accountable, and then hold ourselves accountable as government also.
Thank you.
To provide creative solutions.
We should also hold ourselves accountable.
Okay,
yes, and that that's a nice place to anchor it. When we return, Juror Innocent Aduluba will be looking at challenges in the. Sorry, I take it again.
Ethical challenges in the judiciary.
Okay, take 2. That's a nice place to anchor it. And when we return, Juror Innocent Aduluba will be looking at ethical challenges in the judiciary. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Middleman.
Hello there, thanks for staying put on Enterprise TV. You are still watching the Middlemen of Jurors. My case. Much ado about ethical challenges facing Nigeria's legal profession. Recently, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, has expressed deep concerns about the erosions of ethical principles in the legal profession, warning that it is currently facing significant challenges. She called on legal practitioners to urgently respond to these concerns and reaffirm their commitment to ethics, discipline, and professional responsibility. Speaking at the body of Bencher's inaugural annual lecture and the public presentation of the report on the Legal Practitioner Disciplinary Committee, Justice Kekereekun emphasized the need for the legal profession to rise to the occasion in upholding its sanctity. In her report titled Half a Century of the Body of Benchers, the Past, the Present, and the Future of Maintaining the Ethics of the Legal Profession in Nigeria. She said the responsibility of upholding the legal profession's sanctity rests heavily on the shoulders of the body of benchers as the apex institution of the legal profession in Nigeria, stressing that the enforcement of professional discipline through the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee was crucial and called for fairness, transparency, and an unwavering commitment to discipline. However, the judiciary have been reputed for very loud silence when their voice is crucially needed, such as the case when some northern states decided to close school for 5 weeks during Ramadan. It has sparked debate also over the role of religion in education. Again, the judiciary were silent when a serving corps member, Ushe Ugwamaye in Lagos, made headlines for posting a video where she called President Bola Tinubu a terrible leader and raised questions of government's commitment to tackling the economy as well as Lagos environmental sanitation. The list is much, but the judiciary may have shortchanged itself over political alliances. My verdict: the Chief Justice of Nigeria should conduct a transparent public opinion and then objectively implement the survey results. I rest my case.
They say after God, it is your lordships that are next.
Correct.
So I do not want to be thrown into jail, gaol, for what I want to say, because my opinion.
Wait, now let me say my own first.
You are not afraid of jail.
Somebody just said 2 days. So was it 2 days ago that the Nigerian judiciary has become the legal department of the government in power?
Ewo.
Arrest my case.
Ewo. Me, I want to attack the messenger new because the current president that made her CJN, when he was governor and then leader of ADACACN before they became APC, used to win his elections in courts. Justice Kekereekun, I think you should practice what you preach first, ma. Lead the charge of this your ethics principle discipline that you are talking about, because she is right. The judiciary is no longer the hope of the common man in Nigeria. In fact, President Obasanjo said that when they want to tell you how bad the judiciary is now, they say go to court. Okay. In any matter, you are afraid that you won't get justice in Nigeria. There's a saying that justice delayed is justice denied. In Nigeria, you can be awaiting trial longer than the penalty of the crime that you committed. Say you stole chicken and the penalty of stealing chicken is 2 years. You can be undergoing trial for 10 years in Nigeria. They say we do not have enough courts, we do not have enough judges, enough whatever. But we are every day producing fresh lawyers. From law school used to be only Lagos. Now there's Abuja, there's Kano, maybe there's
Enugu.
Law school everywhere, producing lawyers twice a year. Right? They will still go to 1 year law school, come out, and then they become fashion designer, makeup artists,
real estate
agents. That's the closest to their profession, you know. And the ones who go into the profession, the chambers they work in, they see what their orgas are doing, how they make money, you know.
Political judiciary.
Yes, now. How they make money. Yes, everybody deserves their day in court. So everyone who has a case deserves to get represented. They need to get a lawyer. But it does not mean that lawyers have to now start doing dubious things. Now, my final say on this matter is, if they think that they enrich themselves against the will of the people by, you know, misinterpreting the law to their client's advantage. Because, for instance, the Nigerian Bar Association has said that what is happening right now in Rivers State is illegal. No democratically elected government can remove another. The president cannot remove a governor. If Rivers State was up in smoke, like Borno or Sokoto, with terrorism all over the place, we'll say, okay, declare a state of emergency. Why? For security. But you do not have a right to remove the governor or the State House of Assembly or local government chairman. You see, the sole administrator now is even removing all the political appointees, all the commissioners, to the extent that only him, sitting on top of the budget of the richest states in Nigeria, will now start allocating it as he pleases, putting his own people in positions to manage. That's totally illegal. Guess what? The president did it and nothing has happened.
Okay, so has this chief justice of Nigeria and her bench spoken? Because my point is, one of the aspects
will she speak against her benefactor?
So this calling for credibility is in the work you have done that people can see credibility.
She's paying lip service.
You know, there are people who complain about the latitude of the son of the president using
presidential jets,
you know,
going to distribute cooked rice up north like they're beggars, and going all about like he was appointed first son of the country. School people were kept out of school for 5 weeks. Nobody said anything.
No, but sorry. Sheikh Tinubu said, they're always coming after my father, your father. So I don't know which one of the fathers was he talking about.
His father. You know what happened in Asaba?
No, which of the fathers? He said, my father, your father.
No, it's his own father. You know what happened in Asaba? Who knows that song again? Our mama. Now our mama, he said, your mama, your mama. It's his father. I beg, you should not. I know who my father is. I know, Mr. Lawode, may God rest his soul. I know where he is lying.
Nobody's coming after your father.
I beg.
Nobody has been coming after
my father. Let him rest well.
Okay, so JUROR EMEKA, let's have your take.
He has already spoken now.
No, when they threatened, no, that's what my take I'm giving. You saw, I learned that when Sheikh
Tinubu went go and practice what you preach. That's all.
I learned that after his disastrous outing in Yobe, that when Sheikh Tinubu went to Gombe, they switched off all the microphones.
Yes, so
you know they said you should not speak, you should not say anything. You see what this woman is just doing.
You know when he was talking, when he wasn't talking before, all of us gave him a modicum of respect, thinking, you know, maybe he has some things upstairs. After he spoke, I will realize who he is. They started offing the mic. That's what happened.
No, you know the problem is that they are not used to Lagos Shalaye. You know, if they are used to Lagos Shalaye, they would have. He just went to the north to Shalaye, thinking he was in Lagos.
Like Aragberu.
So you see this woman, you know, the Chief Justice of Nigeria. She's actually a man, you know, by virtue of designation in the legal profession. So his lordship, you know, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, I think she should look in the mirror, put the judiciary in the mirror, And there's a reason why Lady Justice, that statue, has a blindfold and a sword, in her right hand. It is because the judiciary has no favorite. And then, you see, from time, the judiciary has actually, especially the Supreme Court, has not helped matters right from the time of Babangida. If you remember when they had issues with the Guardian newspaper, when they had issues with Chief Ganifa Oemi, then coming down to Obasanjo's time concerning the Sharia matter, where the federal government refused to go to court because, it was said openly that they didn't have confidence in, that the Supreme Court will give, a verdict that will be acceptable to all. And then look at these days, you see the verdict they gave on Rivers State, which was neither here nor there. And then you are not talking about ethics. First of all, let the Supreme Court give lucid judgment.
Exactly.
Look at it in the case of the PDP. Look at the judgment they gave. Instead of you to have said clearly that Senator Anyanwu is Sam Dadi Anyanwu, that he is not the secretary of the PDP, that the PDP go and elect your secretary. The court was just jumping all over the place, voided the judgment of the appeal court, voided the judgment of the high court, and said, okay, PDP, go and decide. Then Sam Dadi Anyanwu, who was slated for expulsion from the party, but he went to an FCT high court and got one injunction. And that they now said, okay, the main matter will be heard on April 9. And so you just find out that, the CJN should actually look in what? The last time the State Security Service invaded judges' quarters, I spoke against it. But if it happens today,
all of us will support
I
them.
will support it.
Yes,
I will support it 1,000%.
All of us will support them.
1,000%. Because the horrendous things happening in the judiciary should not be tolerated.
Very true.
Look, the judiciary is supposed to be the last hope of the common man, but the late Socrates of the Supreme Court, Justice Chukwudifo Oputa said, when the judiciary is corrupt, where does the common man go? Where does the big man go?
I think that's a good place to leave it. JUROR Emeka,
yes.
that your poser is a good place to leave it, so we can drop at the nick of time. But it shows that the judiciary, like me, like everybody, the president, governor, senators, will be remembered by what we have done.
Very true.
It's beyond conferencing here, conferencing there, and when we come back from conferences, print banner, take pictures, blow grammar.
Go back to our old
fly
ways.
Away, Peter.
Fly away, Paul.
We are coming back to
come back, Peter. Come back, Paul.
So, well, we'll be wrapping up the edition, today's edition of the Middlemen, but the conversation continues. You can follow us across all social media platforms at Enterprise TV 7. Do well to visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. We are very grateful to all the jurors on the panel today, Juror Emeka Madunago at large, and Juror Jumoke Alawade James in-house. From myself at Juror Innocent Aduluba, I will say stay informed, stay engaged, stay safe, continue to stay tuned. Bye from us.
Bye.